Hi there. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to another Nerd Nation stream. We are talking WandaVision episode 3. I'm with my usual crew. I'm with Fatro, Fatro, Maxi Cut. Sorry, I should have read your name properly the first time around before we started. Fatro Maxi Gut, very original, love it.
What's that? Yeah, Maximoff.
And your mama. And I'm your host, WandaVision. I went all fanboy with my one, I'm afraid. So let's just get straight to it, boys. You know, we've got another episode here, finally in fucking color as well. And this episode started off with a Brady Bunch intro. Did you guys notice that? I mean, have you noticed the theme with the intros and all that shit as well?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So we get this doctor, and he's checking up on Wanda because she's already 4 months pregnant within a fucking day. And
hey Zam.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, my mic was giving me problems. So you know that they paid the people who wrote the music for Frozen to write all these jingles. So like they paid them millions of dollars for these stupid jingles in the beginning of each show.
Really? No wonder they're bloody good.
I mean, I guess, you know, if you're gonna do it, then do it right, you know. And if it means spending money on the bells and whistles, then why the fuck not? Yeah. And anyways. We have the doctor. This doctor, the first time we've seen him, I believe, he's checking up on Wanda. She's 4 months pregnant. He then said he's going to be going on vacation, and they're just lucky that they caught him. And then we get to see Herb glitching on the wall as he's sawing the fucking wall. He's like proper glitching. He's not even supposed to be sawing the wall. He's supposed to be cutting the bushes, but he's gone through the bushes, and now he's fucking cutting through the wall. That was a bit weird. Did you guys find that a bit weird? Do you think he's glitching in the Matrix and shit?
Yeah, he just kind of spaced out. I don't know if he's plugged into like the simulation, if he just kind of like glitched or just spaced out because, you know, Wanda wasn't really focusing on that part. But yeah, definitely noticed that.
As you went with us last week, before I continue on this, as you went with us last week, I personally believe that apart from Vision, everyone in that world is a real person, and they're under the hex, under the spell of having to play a part in Wanda's vision. Excuse the pun. I'm not sure if you agree with that.
Talk about that. Let's just talk about the episode for now.
No, there is a reason behind it, obviously. You know, regarding how people are interacting and acting. You know, with Herb glitching and stuff, which is why I mentioned that, because he's glitching. I mean, there was some. He shouldn't be fucking cutting through, Bobby.
But Zam just glitched now. Oh, it might have been me actually. Hang on.
No, it's Zam. It's not you.
Oh, Zam. Okay.
No problem. Sorry about that.
So Zam, I'm just gonna say my piece really quick. Is that okay? Like I'm not gonna just go into any. Okay, so because I have to actually get back out. I was okay with this episode. I felt like, to me, it was one of the weaker episodes in my opinion, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a lot happened in this episode, and in the 25-minute time span, because the credits are like 10 minutes long. So I don't know. I mean, I just felt like it was a good. I mean, it was a good episode, but it's still, I felt like the first two episodes were put together better, in my opinion. But more happened in this episode than in the other ones.
I do think
this one definitely did not feel. This one definitely did not feel fillery like the other two did, though. Like, it's kind of a mixed bag with me with this episode, because I'm like, I like it, but it felt kind of rushed. But it also didn't feel very fillery, so I was very happy about that. So.
I do think they stretched the pregnancy out as much as fucking possible in this particular episode. But I'll continue.
It's supposed to take 9 months.
Yeah, I know, but considering she was already 4 months pregnant within like a few hours, like, okay. But anyway, we get them seeing the decorating Wanda's bedroom, where we see all the butterflies and shit. I'm not sure how you guys found that. Vision wants to call his son Billy. Wanda wants to call his their son Tommy, and hopefully the compromise will be they'll get a daughter, and then they can call her whatever the fuck they want. And we also see Vision nappy training with a doll. I'm not sure how you guys found that. And then next thing you know, because of one of Wanda's contractions, the house fucks up a little bit, and not just their house.
Well, I think. Hang on. I think one of the problems here we have is you're not very familiar with the comic books, and so you're whizzing past the episode, and you're missing some of the more important things.
Please bring him up. Please bring him up.
Okay, so the significance of Billy and Tommy are obviously this was the name of her boys in the comic books.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Okay, well, it's good to reference these kind of things because you get an idea of what possibly the outcome is now. Overall, what I'm looking at here is there are 3 different scenarios where this whole thing could come from. But anyway, there's obviously Billy and Tommy were created by her, but then they retconned something in which I'll talk about later with regards to Billy and Tommy.
Which will be really interesting if they go that way.
And it'll be very interesting. And there are a few references to this certain individual
Manifesto
popping out throughout the episode.
Manifesto,
yeah.
Is it Manifesto?
Is it Manifesto? No,
it's Mephisto.
Mephisto. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, so there's a few references obviously to Mephisto coming up now, and this just throws a whole spanner in the work. But it also kind of explains the route they're going to be taking with Doctor Strange.
That was a Star Trek reference, by the way. Spanner in the works.
That's what we say in England.
That's what we say in England. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Spanner in the works.
Star Trek reference. No, you guys say a monkey in the monkey wrench in whatever, monkey wrench in the fucking shit, whatever. Yeah, we say spanner in the works.
So yeah, it's very like interesting what happens here, but let's just get through the rest of the episode, then we'll go back to like these.
All right, well,
I'm
gonna go, so I've said my piece, but keep it up.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Just as Bob leads as well, I was going to say I have to disagree with Bob on the episode because I thought it was phenomenal with all the references that were in it. There's a lot of little Easter eggs that I noticed, and usually I have to go and watch other people's videos to notice some Easter eggs, but I noticed these myself. I mean, I'm nothing special, just saying they were obvious and that. But we'll go back to those later if you want to carry on.
I mean, that's what you and Bob were here for as well, to bring up those references if you think I've missed them out. So, anyways, we then get a moment where Vision starts to feel something, and he feels there's something wrong and regarding the surroundings, and he brings it up with Wanda, and next thing you know, little glitch. We go back a couple of seconds. It feels like there's some sort of fucked up shit with the editing, or maybe
she changes it. Yeah,
but at first I thought there was something wrong with my fucking with my fucking box. I thought it glitched a little bit, but no. You know, very cleverly done. You know, and once again, he doesn't think like that. What thoughts he did have, he doesn't have anymore. And then the sprinklers come on. I mean, sorry, not the sprinklers, the fucking pipes burst and shit like that. That's obviously, that's obviously an indicator. That's also trying to say, regarding Wanda about to give birth and shit like that. I'm not sure how you found that moment, by the way, regarding Vision. I mean, Vision in this, he seems to be
brilliant
different.
Because it's like, don't forget, like Vision, is Vision created by Wanda in this, or is Vision created by the people who are possibly doing all of this? Because we don't know if this is just Wanda's reality, or if this is somebody else's using Wanda's powers to create a reality to get something more out of her. And so Vision becoming self-aware, it, again, is another fascinating point, because you reference the other people, like, they're all actors who are really in, playing their role, but Vision isn't, or shouldn't be. So him becoming self-aware was a great moment. And
he was self-aware from episode 1, dude. He was asking his workmate, "What are we doing here? What do we do?"
Yeah,
I mean?
That was more just but this one is like, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. And that kind of the self-awareness of the severity of the self-awareness, and then she just like snaps him out of it and like, nope. And just great moment, just great.
Well, now we cut to a commercial break, Ginge. It's time
do.
for, if you want to like get away from all your problems, just dip into a fucking bathtub full of Hydra soap.
Create your own world.
Create your own world. Escape from reality. And I've noticed something, my friend. In these commercials, it's the same two people.
Yes.
It's the same two people in these three commercials. And I feel that's definitely playing a part. Bob was telling me, these are just Easter eggs. There's nothing to worry about. No, Easter eggs are if you blink, you miss it. That's an Easter egg, yeah? This shit was in your face. This Strucker watch has got Hydra on it, motherfucker. Have a good look at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's got Strucker and it's got Hydra.
Exactly, yeah.
Strucker was the guy that created her.
Exactly.
So I don't know if the commercial breaks are just her memories referencing back to when she was created by Hydra, or if Hydra is again involved in this.
Also, what was in episode 1 regarding the Stark Industries toaster? What's that got to do with Tony Stark or Howard Stark or any of the Starks?
Well, again, that's more to do with
the Avengers.
This is what I'm saying. It's picking with memories. So you got obviously Iron Man in episode 1. Then you had is the Watch, wasn't it, in episode 2?
Yeah, the Strucker watch.
The Watch, which was Hydra, and Strucker, which was her creation. So it's like a time frame thing, because like it all started with Stark. Then obviously she started with Hydra creating her, and then we have the next episode, which is her creating reality and escaping reality. The reference to the soap, which again was Hydra, her creators. So links there. The same people being in a commercial. I mean, one person said it could be like memories of her parents, or it could just be completely like just people that have just taken part in this kind of weird reality.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it could be like memories of her parents. It could also obviously be people taking part in this reality and they have no control over themselves.
Yeah.
I do believe people don't have any control over themselves. I really do feel they're playing a part, but at moments you get them bursting out of their role a little bit here and there. So like Wanda's about to give birth. Vision runs off to get the doctor. That bit was funny. The doctor.
Here's another bit as well, which is very interesting. In the comics, one of Vision's powers is not super speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that we have Quicksilver's powers being used by Vision.
So if you give 1 second, please.
Because she's kind of merging the two people together, which of course then you have, that mergence and then the reference that comes up later as well to Pietro. So I found that very interesting because he's never known for super speed at all. It's just not his power.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I wanted to bring up Vision again, actually, because this Vision is not the Vision from the MCU films. He's like a totally different character now. The more I see him, he's got so much more personality for a start. He feels very, I know Paul Bettany's English, but he feels very English in his lingo, and there's, I just don't think this is the real Vision. I think this is a manifestation from Wanda, and
sure, yeah. I mean,
this is a new Vision, though. Like, I don't feel like he's gonna. I mean, it could be tragedy by the end of this season, regarding him disappearing and shit. But when she comes out of the reality, but he might stay. Who knows? We get to meet Geraldine in this episode. Lovely afro, by the way.
Gorgeous afro. Fuck.
Yeah, fantastic smile, by the way, she has as well.
Yeah,
she needs a bucket because because Wanda's contractions are just fucked up in the whole neighborhood, so her pipes are broken, so she needs a bucket to get all the water out. She's not too eager to run back home, by the way. She's just hanging around, which is kind of strange. Wanda's also trying to hide her pregnant belly because she doesn't know how to explain it, and a stalk appears.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what that's in reference to.
It's just so had Jumanji vibes about it as
Yeah.
well. He looked like that stalk didn't
They're
look
just trying to
friendly.
make it disappear, but the stalker's more like, no, those babies are coming. Those
Yeah.
babies are coming.
I was like, how the hell did she not notice it? The thing was right next to her. Like, how did
Yeah.
like you don't have to look at something directly for
No,
something not out in your eye line for you to
Yeah.
catch something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
so it was a funny moment. Reminded me of some of the sort of Steven Spielberg scenes with the raptor, you know, missing the kids in the kitchen and stuff like that. Wanda goes into labor, and then the whole house fucking starts going crazy like the goddamn Exorcist, which was pretty funny. Things are spinning, chandeliers are falling, and shit like that. And then Geraldine delivers the first baby, and then Vision comes along with the doctor, and it was a sad moment, but a happy moment, saying, "Oh, I missed it."
Yeah.
But sorry, I apologize. Just getting some messages here. But yeah, then next thing you know, she delivers another baby, and it's really convenient because both of those guys, both Vision and Wanda, wanted to name their child either Billy or Tommy, and because they got a baby each, they're able to name both of their kids Billy and Tommy. Convenient, huh?
If you know the comics, you know that was coming anyway.
It's also like, you know, even Vision knew that was coming because at the beginning of this episode, when we had the Brady Bunch intro, he built, you know, like two swings and a seesaw, and for that shit to work, you need two kids. And then after this is like where it starts to get a little bit tense. Now we're kind of jumping in between scenes. After the delivery, the doctor leaves, and he mentions very briefly about how hard it is to leave this fucking place. You know, like prior to even Vision grabbing him and kidnapping him to fucking help his wife, his engine wouldn't start. You know, it's very, very Truman Show. Like they just can't
Very Truman Show.
they
Yeah.
just can't get the fuck out of there. You know. And then we have some tense moments now, Ginger. I'll start off with which one should I start off with? Between Monica and Wanda, or between Vision and Agnes and Herb?
Go with Vision and Agnes and Herb.
Okay, now at first, like, you know, he just sees them after he says goodbye to the doctor. He just sees them and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And they go, "Yeah, hi," and whatever. And it's like a very quick brush off, no real wanting to chat to him. And Vision feels there's something suspicious is going on, so he just tries to talk to him a little bit more. And he's trying to get some information out of them. And those two have been basically telling him, you know what, that Geraldine, she's not really, she's a bit strange, that one. You know, she's from out of town, doesn't have a husband, you know, doesn't have a home, even though she mentioned that her pipes had burst earlier, which is a bit weird. I found that a bit weird. And then I think Herb was just about to say something like, you know, we're in a something. Is that right? What was he about? He was about to say
something, and he just stops.
No, Agnes cuts him off. Cuts him off, yeah. And Agnes is still wearing the same brooch she wore in the last two episodes, by the way.
And then when he goes to say it again, then Agnes kind of cuts him off. Yeah.
And also Agnes, like I said, wearing the same brooch, but she seemed kind of worried about it all. But like I said, they don't like Geraldine. They don't want to kind of explain what's going on. And even when Agnes fucks off and then Vision presses Herb for some more information, Herb fucks off himself. And that was that. And I'm not sure how you found all of that.
Brilliant. Like tense, because you're just like, oh, is something going to be revealed here? And then you know something's just going to cut them off at the last minute. But again, you know, this is why, like, you know, people kind of complained a little bit about the first two episodes, but it's like, if you don't have build up, then you don't get payoff. So you need a nice long-ish enough build up to kind of create this world so that when it all comes crumbling down, you're like, holy shit. And this is one of those moments like, oh, here we go now. It's not going to be long before all the cracks start to appear. And yeah, it was great. It was a very tense moment and just really well done.
I mean, this next bit between between Geraldine and Wanda, kind of like, because of the goddamn trailers, I knew that this character wasn't going to be killed by Wanda there and then, because Wanda right now she's a ticking time bomb to a degree. You know, you don't know what's going to happen to her. Even if she's not a bad person, she might do bad things. You know, and I knew that regardless of how tense they wanted to make that moment between Wanda and Geraldine, I knew Geraldine wasn't going to die because of the goddamn fucking trailers. You know?
Well, again, two things there. Number one, don't watch all the fucking trailers. I
don't watch all the trailers. I only watch one trailer, dude. One trailer, just to give me
the trailer as I did. I completely forgot then about
it was the part, because what it is, after she disposes of her and we see her shoot out of the bubble.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and you know, and we see her lying on the floor. I thought I remember that. I thought to myself, I remember that from the trailer. So she's obviously not.
I mean, that's not like, you know, she's not going to die anyway because that's Monica Rambeau. That's not.
But I wish I didn't know it was Monica Rambeau. I wish I didn't know. Yeah, and I wish enough wasn't given enough in the trailer for me to really feel the tenseness of that scene, to think that Wanda could have possibly killed this woman. You know, and I knew she wasn't going to be killed. Yeah, I want to feel that, you know, that part of Wanda where she has no control over herself and she is fucking dangerous, a bit like the Phoenix. You know, you just can't control her, even though she might be a good person. You can't control this person.
Yeah,
and I want to feel more of that. You know, she's a ticking time bomb. But anyway, we get to see the outside world for the first time. I believe those lights were not actually put there on the outside world. I believe they're part of a stadium.
Well, either part of the stadium or part of the stage.
Yeah, either way, we'll find out more.
It's like, you know, what's going on in terms of this, because obviously they're not hooked up to anything. So how is this reality being created? Is it being created with the same technology they used in Spider-Man with Mysterio? That's them playing tricks on Wanda's mind, or is Wanda
created this
situation?
Wanda's created this because she's the one who said no to the beekeeper. She's 100.
The thing is this is where it gets like, Wanda's created this reality, but who got her to that point? That's the question, because she's obviously seems to be aware of what's going on. But it is also just expelled her from like a place surrounded by swords.
I mean, I do want an answer to how we got there. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
there'll be no rush on that. But I want episode 4 now to begin with Monica Rambeau and the outside world. I have no problems with one episode totally on the outside world. Just to give us some exposition regarding this whole fucking story and fill us in on some shit, because we could do with that now with a little change of pace.
I think the next episode's that one that takes place with like all the Halloween costumes and things like that.
So you think we'll be going back in again?
Yeah, for sure. It'll be set in the 80s, and it will be like Halloween costumes. Because we saw those in the trailer, and we saw pictures of them in like Vision's original costume and Wanda's original costume. So we definitely got that. But again, it doesn't mean we're not going to see the outside world. We don't know, we'll get to that point, obviously. But the next episode again could be another hint towards Mephisto, Halloween, demons and devils and all this kind of shit. And we're going to see the boys would have grown a couple of years as well, because obviously we're going to go forward another decade.
We're getting halfway through now, and I'm all good with slow burns, but I feel like we need a little bit of payoff, just a tiny bit, at this particular moment on the next episode.
Not too much though. Don't go.
Yeah, a tiny bit,
yeah. But not too much, because you'll make the mistake of then just having filler, and you don't want filler.
No, for sure. But I want to see in next episode. I want to see Jimmy Woo, because we know he's in this, and Darcy as well. I want to see those two characters come into play now. And I want to see, like I said, I want to see more on the outside and less on the inside next episode. I know you mentioned regarding the Halloween episode and stuff. Fair dues, if that's how it is. But I just I am looking forward to it. This is I give credit to Marvel, because only they could pull something like this off. And when I say pull something like this off, but other people can do this sort of shit, but it wouldn't garner the interest because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and I love this shit. You know, there was some real Twilight Zone vibes about this episode as well. You know, very eerie Indiana. You remember that back in the day? Fucking great stuff, man, with the kid from Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah, good episode. I'll give this a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It did for me. This episode kind of felt a little bit fillery, but some things were explained at the same time as well, and we got, you know, more out.
And like, with all due respect, I completely disagree with both of you. It was not a filler episode because you had the twins, then you had to create the funny situation around there, but then you also had to show the little cracks that were appearing, and you had obviously her being dejected out into the real world. There was nothing filler about this episode at all. Every little scene had something of significance.
No, look, I'm just saying it just, you know, with like 3 episodes on the trot, it felt very, you know, with the comedy format, it felt very similar to the previous episodes of it, other than being in color, but we got more out of it. But I do feel like I would like a little change in pace, just a tiny bit now, you know, regarding this, because I want to.
Okay. I like, you know, not to be irritated here, but people trying to rush. Whereas we got bollocks episodes in Mandalorian and everyone was tickety-boo with it. Whereas here we're getting a nice build-up to some amazing reveal that's going to come along the line, but people are trying to rush to get to that. And I don't want to. Personally, you know, people need to be a bit more patient here and just kind of enjoy the ride. Like, if you like old sitcoms, like, I'm a huge sitcom fan. Like, I binge more sitcoms than I do films, for example, and repeat view more sitcoms than I do films. And this is me, just the way they've done their adaptations to callbacks to classic sitcoms has been amazing. But that deep undertone of it's all gonna go to shit brewing just makes it that much more exciting.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying it from this show's perspective, and that's it. We've had 3 episodes like this now. I think if I had a 4th episode like this, still going on with the same formula, it would start to feel jarring. It needs to go in a slight different direction in this 4th episode, you know. And I'm glad that we've ended up with Monica in the outside world, and I'm hoping that's where we begin when it comes to that episode.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna be too long before, like, I reckon by episode 6, it will all be down because you still got like Doctor Strange probably come into it. Well, you know, there is so much content to come still that, yeah, if they do a Mandalorian and then waste a bunch of stupid episodes in the middle, and then the last episode it's a rush to get things out, that will be a disappointment. But at the same time, you just got to pace it just right.
I think I'll be more surprised if Stephen Strange isn't in this season than if he is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because but
this show links straight to Doctor Strange 2.
But I do feel I do feel that there might be another cameo in this show, a special one of significance, because there's really only one person outside of Vision, who's dead now anyway, who's still alive, who has a decent connection with Wanda, and that's Hawkeye. And I would love to see. Yeah, I know he's still alive. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
I misheard.
Yeah. So I would love to see Hawkeye have a part in this show at some point, just to try to get through to Wanda. Because if anybody can, who is alive, he's the best one, in my opinion.
Well, if things are gonna go the way they're gonna go, could be Hawkeye that kills her, because he did in the comics.
Yeah, but she's in
reality.
Yeah, but she is in Doctor Strange, so he won't kill her in
it won't be in this. It won't be in this. It could happen in Doctor Strange. It's not going to happen, obviously. But I'm just saying, if he's going to show up, he could do, because don't forget he's got a series coming out and they're filming it. So
yeah, for sure,
he could have a cameo. I mean, God knows who could show up in this. We could even get like Bucky and Falcon in this. You just don't know, but that's the beauty of it.
I wouldn't mind them two in it too, but I do feel for the sake of emotion, that I think Hawkeye would be.
I'd love it to sharp. Yeah,
I would love it. I would love it because I
yeah,
could Jeremy
absolutely.
Renner.
He could be the one that breaks her out of this.
Yeah, but he's got like he's got like a big brother relationship with her, like he had with Black Widow. So I hope it is, man. That would be so great. He'll be the ideal person, and I really feel if that's the secret they're keeping under wraps, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. That would be a good payoff.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he's the one who saves her,
we'll definitely mark out when that happens.
For sure.
Now to that, so obviously, we've talked about the episode. I love the episode. I give it a 10 for me personally.
10.
Oh yeah, I just love it. I love this. This is the kind of shit I love. This kind of surreal world building, and not that it's the references. So look, you got to understand. Marvel Comics in the 90s and early 2000s was wank. They nearly went out of business. Blah 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 blah. When Joe Quesada took over, he revolutionized Marvel. He gave it its best era for me personally. And one of the linchpins in that era was Wanda. With the House of M, with Disassembled, with all this kind of not Disassembled, House of M, and then the death of the mutants and all of that, and all this. So because this episode referenced a lot of that part with Billy and Tommy, and obviously the possibility of Mephisto. Don't forget Ghost Rider's being done as well into a series. So we get Ghost Rider in this. And so because there's all that anticipation of what could be, I'm enjoying it that much more. For me personally. And there are so many avenues now that they could take with this, because it's not just is Wanda creating this reality, is Mephisto creating it, harnessing Wanda's abilities and creating this reality to get something out of her, to put the demon spawn of Billy and Tommy like he did in the comics in there, so he can
I have another theory. Like the Wanda we see in this show, her physical representation is not that person. She's somewhere else in this world.
She could be,
and, and she's creating it, and her consciousness is in this holographic version of her roaming around with all these real people. I do still believe everyone apart from Vision is real. Like I said, they're under a spell and they have to play a part, and they can't help themselves. They have to do what they have to do.
Yeah, she is able to do that, cast hexes on people and
change
their reality. We saw that in obviously Age of Ultron.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be her doing it, or it could be Mephisto doing it. It could be Nightmare doing it, and that's where Doctor Strange plays it. Because again, Nightmare's supposed to be the main villain in Doctor Strange 2, unless they change that. Obviously, there's been a lot of production hell with that film because I think they.
But she's next level. I mean, she's like superiorly powerful. I wonder, like.
She's an Omega level mutant. She can literally not just change reality, but keep it that way. Because her kids are still in the comic books as Speed and Wiccan. They're still around. They haven't disappeared, no matter what's happened to Wanda herself. So not only does she have the ability to change reality, but it sticks like that until she says so. The same with House of M. She changed reality. She gave everyone their wishes and desires, but made mutants the dominant species. And then, when it all fucking fell apart, she was like, "Okay, no more mutants then." And she destroyed all but 193 mutants. Were all that was left in the world, and destroyed reality. So she's
a human. She's a human Infinity Gauntlet with the stones on it. I mean, she's pretty much like the Reality Stone. That's pretty. It's amazing she got her powers from the Mind Stone, but she's more like the Reality Stone.
Yeah, and she could have wiped out fucking Thanos if she wanted to.
She's red she's red as well, like the Reality Stone. She can bring people back from the dead, like the Soul Stone, to a degree. She can obviously hex and control people's mind, like the Mind Stone. She's changed people. She's changed time with the periods and stuff, like the Time Stone. I'm sure she can jump into different portals and stuff like the Space Stone, and she's fucking strong as well. She's like all the Infinity Stones in one.
She really is like all the Infinity Stones.
You know, so it's amazing. You know, this woman. I'm sure I'm missing the Infinity Stone out, but yeah, she's beyond powerful. She's the most
Like,
powerful Avenger.
For me, I'm starting to think: is she the one that creates the mutants now?
Yeah, I think she
Or
does.
have they already been created, and we're just?
I think she's definitely the catalyst or the gatekeeper to
Yeah.
it. You know,
Well,
like
it's going to be interesting to see, like, when she loses the kids, when it becomes real that, because again, that's another important thing they need to do in the next episode.
I heard she might not lose the kids.
Well, this is the thing. So one of the most important things to do in the next episode is to build that relationship with her and the kids and have those kind of moments with the kids, because then it adds more weight should she lose them. I mean, she could lose them and then create them again, because that's what she did in the comics. So, or they just created because of Mephisto and they stayed. So I don't
What
know.
I've heard is that Kevin Feige wants to do a Young Avengers series.
Yeah.
And obviously Wanda's kids would be prime for that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I don't feel they're going to be killed off. I think
you don't know, because again, don't forget they could be.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I agree. But I'm just trying to keep it
brought back.
I'm just trying to keep it more as the MCU Wanda than the comic book one. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's Disney as well. I can't see them killing off the kids.
That's the only crux in the whole thing, is that it's Disney, and I don't think they'd go down that route.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so. But yeah, anyway, it's been a good chat, James. You got anything more to say on this shit?
No, that's it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
We'll roll on to episode 4. I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. I'm not sure if you're gonna join us or not, but I'll be with Roberto. We'll be talking about a few things, sci-fi wise as well. Maybe do a fan reaction and all of that shit. But that's all going to be over the weekend. But yeah, I'm pretty much done here. We're going to be join. Don't forget to sign up with us on Facebook and look for the logo on Discord as well as YouTube, I guess. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much, Jim, for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you very much, everyone. See you next week.